Now let's move on to the harder question set. So let's start off by having a go at this question. We've got to give our answer in the form a root b, where a and b are integers. I'm going to start off by essentially multiplying through by the square root. Now, this is a trick that I want you guys to keep on using. Whenever you see a fraction and you're asked to solve the equation, always get rid of the fraction. It's going to make your life a lot easier, okay? And you can do this anywhere. So we've got x root 12 root 3 equal to 8x. Now I've times the whole equation by root 3 to get rid of it in the denominator. I'm going to have 8 root 3 plus x root 36 equal to 8x. Now, the reason why I made it root 36 is so that, because I know that if I can get it into a square number, it's going to be very easy to work with. Okay, so 8 root 3 plus 6x equal to 8x. And therefore 8 root 3 is equal to 2x, and x is equal to 4 root 3. There is my answer, and hopefully we can move on. For question number 21, we've got a rectangle that has a length of 1 plus root 3 centimeters and an area of root 12 centimeters squared. So calculate the width of the rectangle. Well, over here, I'm simply going to do root 12 because it's the area divided by 1 plus root 3. Oh no, I have a third. What do? I rationalize. So I multiply the top and bottom by the conjugate, which is 1 minus root 3, 1 minus root 3. So I'm going to end up with root 12 times root. Let's just write it out fully, not skip any steps so far. So you guys are happy with this. 1 minus 3. If you have watched my previous videos, hopefully you are familiar with the a squared minus b squared rule. Moving this along, we're going to get root 12 minus root 36 over minus 2. Now I'm going to essentially, I know that root 36 goes to 6, and root 12 in its simplest terms, I'm going to separate a root 4 and a root 3 because taking out the square number and writing this as minus 6 and this is minus 2. So overall, my answer, well, let's see what we get. We're going to get 2 root 3 minus 6 over minus 2. And because this is top heavy, we can simply we can simplify this down to root 3 minus 3 over 1 over minus 1. And because I have decided to essentially what I can do is, because I'm dividing through by minus 1, I can get rid of the denominator and write it as minus root 3 plus 3. And there is my answer. Perfect. Hopefully you guys followed it along with that question. Okay, so please pause and go back if you want to go over it again. Let's move on to question 22. Now, this one is a little bit challenging. We've got to write it in this form. So I'm going to do what I normally do in terms of expand the top first. So I'm going to get 2 minus root x, 2 minus root x. Alternatively, if you are happy and familiar, you could use the expansion of a minus b whole squared, but we are going to do this with our FOIL method for now. So once I expand it, I'm going to end up with 4 minus 2x to the half minus 2x to the half, and then I'm going to get plus x to the half plus a half. Now, all I want you to remember is root x is equal to x to the power of half. That's why we can add the two powers together. And that is simply going to be x to the 1. So just x. Let's not over confuse you guys there. Right, so let's get into this form. So now this is all over x to the half. Okay, so if you bear with me for a second, what we can see is that the best way of approaching something like this is going to be taking a factor of x to the minus a half out. Now, the reason why we do that is because our first term is 4x to the minus half. So if we were to work backwards, that's exactly what we'd want to achieve. So we would do 4, we've got 4 minus 2x to the power half. Sorry, this is going to be converted into 4x to the minus 4x to the half plus x. And now simply we're going to expand these terms out. So I'm going to get 4x to the minus half minus 4x to the power 0, because this time we're doing minus a half plus x to the half, which is going to be x to the 0, which is 1. And then finally, we're going to have plus over here x to the half, because we're simply adding the powers. Okay, so this would be x to the power 1. 1 minus a half is just a half. So here I have my answer, and simply we can write this as 4 over root x minus 4 plus root x. There you go, and we've finished this question. It's exactly the same thing. Okay, 4 to the x is 4x to the power 0 is just 4, because x to the 0 is 1. That's it. Finally got my words out. Let's move on to 23 and quickly get towards the end of this. In question number 23, this one's a little bit of a challenge as well. We're going to start off with expressing the 243 into 3 to the power something. Now, with a little bit of trial and error, hopefully you guys know that 3 to the power 5 is 243. If you're not sure, just try. So remember, 3 to the power 1 is 3. 3 squared is 9. 3 to the power 3 is going to be 27. 3 to the power 4 is 81. And keep trying until you have a calculator. So make sure you can use it. It's not GCSE anymore. When one exam you don't have a calculator. So 3 to the 5 is going to be 243. Okay, and now you know it for next time as well. So let's get rid of this. So we know that 3 to the power 5 times by 3 to the half is equal to 243 root 3. And we need to express it in 3 to the power a. So simply it's going to be 3 to the 5, 1 over 2. Very, very simple indeed if you know what you're doing. Okay, the value of a is going to be 11 over 2. Perfect. Let's move on to the last question. So in this question, we've got 4x cubed plus x to the power 5 over 2 over root x. And we are simply going to do 4x cubed plus x to the power 5 over 2 all over x to the power half. Now, I'm going to use that same approach as last time. I'm going to take a power of negative a half, and I'm going to write it by 4x cubed plus 5x, plus x to the power 5 over 2. Now, you might be asking why? Why do we do this? And the reason is because we want it in this format. Now, you can use this trick to get everything in a level playing field. You don't want a denominator. So this is an alternative method to rationalizing, which you can use in this case. It's a different sort of rationalization per se. Now, all I have to do here is I multiply the 4s and then I just deal with the powers. So 3 minus a half, that's what I'm doing. Then I'm doing plus x 5 over 2 minus a half. So it's going to be very, very simple and straightforward to follow. So this is going to end up with as x squared, and this is going to be ending up with 4x to the power 5 over 2. So my a is equal to 5 over 2, and my b is equal to 2. There you have it. This is our complete work solutions to the chapter 1 mixed exercise. Hopefully you guys found that really useful. If you can drop a comment down below to say that it helped, I would really appreciate that. And best of luck with your revision. Thank you.